Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Farm Girl Diaries. My name is Caitlin, and we have a busy day together today. I don't know how much we're actually gonna get done. I have a whole list of stuff I want to get done, but we'll see how much we get done today. So, let me talk about what we're gonna get done, and then I'll talk about how we got here. So first, what I'm doing right now is I'm straining some beef broth. I am running low on my French onion soup, my canned French onion soup. And my French onion soup is delicious as a soup. It's fucking in my hair. It is delicious as a soup, but it is also medicinal. I really like to use it when I'm getting sick or somebody is actively sick. I say, here, eat the soup. It's fucking in my hair. um, so onions are really, really good when you're sick. There's some old wives' tales that when you're sick, you can put an onion out in your house and it'll like suck up the infections and the disease that's kind of running rampant through your house. There are some things you can do with onions, I think in your sock at night to help you draw out some infection. Onion is really, really good, but it's immune boosting. It is infection fighting. Onion is a great thing to have in abundance when you're getting sick. So this French onion soup is obviously loaded down with onions. So when you're feeling sick, you're kind of giving yourself some more of those vitamins and nutrients to help your body fight whatever is going on. And then I made my own bone broth. So my beef broth is full of collagen and nutrients, and I made this broth with the intent of having it be as medicinal as possible. So I've let these beef bones go for 2 full days. This is my first time making beef broth, and I didn't know how to do it. So we'll see how successful this is. So first, I started with my beef bones, and I just put them in. I bought the beef bones home. I threw them in this roaster, covered them with water, and let them sit. And the water stayed like kind of yellow. It didn't get brown. So I ended up doing some Googling. You have to roast the beef bones first. So I took them out of here and I roasted them for 2 hours. And then I put them back in here. And then one of the ways to help get your beef broth brown is you have to add tomato paste. So I added tomato paste. Who knew? Also, if you do, so there is a difference between broth and stock. Broth is when you use vegetables. So like I could have my onion peels in here. I could add carrots. I could add herbs. You're making a really flavorful broth. I have lately really just kind of focused on making stock. The reason being is because I kind of want it to be more medicinal than I want it to kind of taste good. Whenever I cook with it, I'm 100% going to add all those herbs and flavors and salt and all that stuff. But I really just kind of focus more on making a really medicinally nutritious stock. So that's what I've done here. So I haven't added anything. But if you were making broth and you added any vegetables, you roast the vegetables and then that helps get you your brown color as well. So I'm just straining out. I don't have much here in terms of like kind of gunk. There was some fat on the bones. There was a little bit of meat on the bones. Just kind of straining all that out. And we'll get this broth just put to the side. And then I'm going to get my onions cooking in this roaster. So it's early Sunday morning. So I'm just kind of going to let this go all day with the hope of around soy. You're okay. With the hope of around dinner time getting this in the canner, because this will take about 75 to 90 minutes. I actually don't know. I know how much it takes. I know it takes 60 minutes if I do these in pints, but I'm going to do quart, so I need to look it up. So I'm expecting about 90 minutes or so for these quarts to can. So I kind of want to get that going around dinner time. So I'm going to get this started and get this project done. So I just used 4 bones with the marrow. There was still some meat on them. They cooked down really, really nice. There is still a little bit of marrow in some of them. This one still has some marrow in it. But they've been gone for over 2 days. So I think I don't think that's going anywhere. I've never done this before. Other things we're doing today is I need to make some food for the week. So I'm making a strawberry shortcake biscuit. So I'm from Pennsylvania. I live in Dutch country. And for us, strawberry shortcake is served over milk, not ice cream. And at least in my family, and I'm almost positive there are other families that do this as well. I have seen that even in Dutch country, some people still say this strawberry shortcake is a dessert. But in my family, it's a meal. So one of my favorite meals is strawberry shortcake with hot dogs. We buy these really, really good hot dogs. So that's what is going to be my dinners for this week. So what I like to do on Sundays, I like to take some time and just kind of prep an easy dinner for the week. So in case I come home and I had a long day at work and I don't feel like cooking, or I want to do stuff at home, I don't feel like cooking, I have some food that can just kind of be heated up. So I'm going to do the strawberry shortcake and the hot dogs. I need to do a baked oatmeal for my breakfast. So we have baked oatmeal that we can together, just dry can mix. We can together, or we whipped up together, prepped together a couple months ago. So I'm gonna turn that into an apple baked oatmeal. And then I forget if I need to do lunches for the week. I don't think I have any lunch. I have a little bit of lunch for the week. I have a little bit of lunch for the week, so I don't think I need to make a lunch for the week. And then tonight we are doing Reubens, but I'm not going to the grocery store, so I'm getting my own just regular white bread out of the freezer, and I'm getting regular cheese. I don't have Swiss cheese. Tomorrow is St. Patty's Day, so I decided tonight we're gonna have some Reubens, but I'm not going to the grocery store, so we're just doing the best with what we have. So that is on the plan for the kitchen products. And then we are also hopefully going to go downstairs and maybe start up potting some plants. We'll see if I don't honestly feel like doing that. I have peppers that are ready to be up potted. So we'll see if we get there. But right now, I want to get all this put away. I'm just going to move my chicken broth to the stove, or my beef broth to the stove. This has a really nice brown color. Like, that turned out nice. So that's, I think, largely tomato paste that made that brown. But I'm just going to move this to the stove. I'm just going to put a lid on it just to keep out any hair or dust in my kitchen, because I have animals and I have a lot of hair. But this is going to live on my stove until I'm ready to add this back to my onions. So let me get this cleaned up. I also yesterday, so I didn't bring you guys along yesterday. Sawyer, my dog, just hurt herself yesterday. And I was really babying her and I was really upset about it. So she's still hurting, but she just hurt her leg. She's still definitely hurting, but she's feeling better today. But yesterday, in order to keep myself busy, I got out some hamburger and I canned up some hot dog chili. So I did bring you guys along the last time I did this. I used a little bit of a different recipe this time. Largely, this is ketchup and mustard with some Worcestershire sauce and some spices, some chili, paprika, salt and pepper, cumin, a little bit of apple. I think it's actually a lot of apple cider vinegar. But I got these made up and canned yesterday. So I got to get them cleaned up and then washed and then put away, wash out the canner because the can was greasy now. So let me do all of this stuff and then I'll bring you back when the canner is full of onions and we can get started on the onions and then our other projects for today. So I got 6 pounds of onions chopped up into my roaster. Oh, I gotta get my butter out. My butter's popping. 6 pounds of onions chopped in my roaster. My roaster is about half full. I have about a stick of butter, and then I did about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And now I'm gonna put the lid on them and I'm gonna let them go. Because I'm doing them in a roaster and not in like on the stove, they're gonna take a little bit longer, and that's okay. Next, I'm gonna get my hot dogs going in my skillet. I think I'm only gonna do, there's 6, I think I'm only actually gonna do 3. So 3 hot dogs, and then the rest can go in the freezer. These are my favorite hot dogs. They're called Seacrest hot dogs. I don't know if they're local to me, like from my butcher, or if you can get these everywhere, but they are some of the best hot dogs. So those three I'm gonna put in a freezer bag and put in the freezer. I grabbed out a pack of my strawberry, I guess pie filling. I call it my strawberry shortcake mix. It's strawberries in syrup. I do that when they are coming into season. So I grab a whole bunch of strawberries in June and I just kind of clean them. I take the stems off, slice them in quarters, and then I just cook them down until they make their own syrup. And then I freeze them like that. So that way when I want to have, typically what I use them for is my strawberry shortcake. When I want to have my strawberry shortcake, they're ready to go. Or if I want to, hold on, let me get a fork. It's a little greasy. Or if I want to turn them into like a strawberry pie filling, you know, they're just strawberries and syrup. You can do whatever you want to do with them. So I'm going to just let them thaw, and then that will be all I need to do for the strawberry side of my strawberry shortcake. So we'll get to the shortcake part next. But first I want to take my baked oatmeal in a jar. So this is not a canned product. It's just, we keep it in the jar because I like how pretty they look on my shelf. We did these together, and I like doing these because they keep really well. And then when I want to do something like this, I don't have to get all of my individual ingredients out. So my dry ingredients are 3 cups of oats, 1 cup brown sugar, 2 teaspoons cinnamon, 2 teaspoons baking powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. So if I want to have like a baked oatmeal like I do right now, I don't have to get those ingredients out. I just have to open my jar. Toss them in here, add my wet ingredients, and we're good to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and kind of get everything stirred together. There's a gnat flying around. Okay, get it all nice and stirred together. And then I need eggs. I just like to kind of mix everything in the bowl that I'm going to cook it in. So I think I actually need to go back outside. I think I'm out of eggs in here. Yep, I got to run for eggs. I'll be right back. Okay, so to my dry ingredients, I'm going to add 2 eggs. And I always like to break my eggs into a different container just in case they would be bad. Then I don't have to get rid of the entire mixture. 2 eggs, 1 cup of milk, and then 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Oopsie. I just eyeball this. 1, 2. And then half a cup of butter. And I'm going to mix that all together. So that's the regular just baked oatmeal mixture. And then you can top it however you want to top it. Sometimes I like to do jam, canned peaches, but my favorite way is my canned apples. That is by far my favorite way to enjoy this. Get it all nice and combined. If it's a little dry, just go ahead and add some extra milk. Sometimes it needs a little bit of extra milk. I think mine's just looking a hair on the dry side, so I'm just going to add a splash of milk. And then 2, I have this juice from my apples, my apple pie filling, so that will help make it nice and wet. So get it all nice and combined, and then spread it out. And now you can top it however you want to top it. I'm going to do my apples. And then I just serve this warm with some ice cold milk. It is my favorite way to eat it. So now I do this for about $3.75 for about 20 minutes or so until it's fully set. And this is going to make your house smell so good. So let's put this to the side, and I'll put this in the oven as soon as we get the Bisquick made for the strawberries. I do not have enough room for all the things that I want to do, but we make it work. So for the Bisquick, we're going to start with 2 1/3 cup of Bisquick. Can't find my big 1 cup measure right now, so we're just going to do 1/2 cup at a time. Okay. 2 1/3 cup Bisquick. 1/2 cup of milk. And then this, I'm just eyeballing 3 tablespoons of sugar and 3 tablespoons of melted butter. And that is it. That's so easy. Now we just got to get this mixed. I'm going to move the Bisquick. We'll get this mixed and put this into my dish. And the most important step with shortcake is you want to make sure you spray your container, because shortcake will stick. Let's go ahead and mix this up. And this should form a dough. Again, if it's too wet, add more milk. If it's too dry, if it's too wet, add a little bit more Bisquick. If it's too dry, add milk. This will make a nice dough. Okay. And then you just spread it out in your pan. And then this cooks at 375 for about 10 to 11 minutes, or just until it is nice and golden brown and puffy. You want to get it all spread out, and you want it all to be, kind of see I have some cracks there. You want it all to be cohesive, because if you have cracks, it's not going to like really grow too much. If you have cracks, you'll have cracks in the finished product. Okay. So I'll put this in first, 375, 10 minutes, and then I'll put the baked oatmeal in for 25 minutes. Okay, so we are about half an hour into our projects, and we are well on our way. So now I'm just going to kind of wait for everything to bake up. And I think we're actually done for a little bit. That didn't take as long as I thought it was going to. I do have some, I bought a whole bunch of meat the other day that I want to get marinate in the freezer, but I think I'm going to wait, and we're going to do that like one night this week as a project. I think I'm just going to do these dishes, and then we're going to go sit back down. I have some peppers and petunias that could be potted up today. If I wanted to. I don't know if I want to. Well, clearly I don't want to. I'm not in the mood to pot up plants today. That is when I'm starting seeds. That is one of my least favorite tasks, is to pot up plants. I don't like it. I don't know why I don't like it, but I don't like it. So we'll see if it gets that today or not. It's still early. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean these dishes, and we'll be back when everything is baked and when the onions are ready for their next step. Okay, it's been a few hours, but we've gotten everything done. So our shortcake baked up great. That's going to make delicious dinner with our hot dogs. And then my baked oatmeal smells so good. The house smelled amazing when this came out of the oven. I actually had company come the second I pulled this out of the oven, and they walked in and said, "The house smells so good." It smells so good. So I'm going to put that to the side for now. I'll put that in the fridge. But now we can move on with our onions. So it's been a while. I had company for the better part of this afternoon, or the better part of today. And so I just let my onions cook down this whole time. Fogging on my glasses, but they are nice and caramelized. Let me bring you in here. These are gorgeous. So I was going to let them continue even going a little bit longer, but it's already about 4 o'clock and they have some more cooking to do if I want to can them up today. So I thought, you know what, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to move forward. So this amounted to 6 pounds of onions. So I'm going to go follow the directions for the recipe, let it cook for a little bit, and then come back and taste it. And we might need to add more of everything once it's cooked down a little bit. So we'll just have to kind of play it by ear and taste test as we go. But to start out, I'm doing 2 cups of white wine. And I'm just using whatever white wine I drink. I really like this is a buttery Chardonnay. And when you're cooking with alcohol, you always want to use something you drink. They do have cooking wines, and they don't taste very good. So if it doesn't taste very good, why would you want to cook with it? So I don't like doing that. Cook with something that you would drink. And so I pulled my regular box of wine because I am a little trashy. I'm going to add in that beef broth. Don't fall, don't fall, don't fall, don't fall. Add that beef broth. Look at that. Don't fall, don't fall. Okay. Don't fall. So now we're going to do 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. I love Worcestershire. I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons, but we can up that later if we decide we want to. 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. Now I'll leave this out just in case we need it. We need it as we keep cooking. 2 cloves of garlic. I made that about a tablespoon or a teaspoon of this minced jarred garlic because it makes my life so much easier. And 1.5 tablespoons of sugar. And then salt, pepper, and thyme to taste. So I'm going to add, I haven't salted my onions as they were caramelized, and so I'm going to add a good amount of salt now, and my broth is also not salted. So I'm going to start with a good amount of salt and then some pepper, and then I'm going to get some thyme. And then 3 bay leaves. And I do have my own bay leaf tree, but his leaves are still a little small. So I'm going to let them go rather than pick 3 off of there. I want him to grow nice and big. And so then go ahead and mix all this up. And now I'm just going to let this cook together for about an hour, and then we'll come back and taste it to see where we are flavor wise, if I need to add anything, change anything. So this is another project that we can ignore for the next hour. So I'll see you guys back in an hour. Okay friends, it has been an hour since we added the rest of the ingredients to our soup. Now, I will say, I did come in and I added some more Worcestershire sauce and balsamic vinegar. You can taste the thyme really well, I think. I think the thyme amount I added is perfect. Everything tastes really, really good. I just really like to have that little bit of like a sweetness, tanginess that comes from the vinegar and the Worcestershire sauce. I think it tastes so good. So I think this soup, like I said, it's going to be great on its own as like a medicinal use. But to do this with cheese and bread as a traditional French onion soup is going to be amazing. And then too, you can take this and cook this down with some beef and make like a beef gravy. Some steak tips cooked in this will be delicious. The broth is, I think the broth is delicious. I think everything about this turned out really well. I'm looking for my third bay leaf, and I can't find it. Can't find third bay leaf. So I'm going to go ahead and get this jarred up. I think this is going to be completely delectable. But I can't find that third bay leaf. Oh, there it is. Stuck on the bottom of an onion. Okay, let's go ahead and get this started up. I'm so excited to have, I'm not out of this yet, but my mom has just fallen in love with this stew, so she desperately wanted me to make some, so she had some of her own at her house. So some is going to go on my shelves and some is going to go to my mom, and this is going to be delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and just get this jarred up. Now my onions, I will say, despite cooking as long as they did, they are still crispier than I would have liked them to be. Let me find if a small one. Well. They still have bite to them. They're not completely soft. They will continue cooking just a little bit in the pressure canner. So when I tell you, the right cheese, maybe a smoked Gouda would be delicious with this. And some croutons or a nice crusty piece of bread. This is going to be perfect. Love it, love it, love it. So you just want to season it to your desired taste. And I know I do like things a little sweet, but my goodness, I could eat this raw. I could eat this whole pot right like this. Give me a spoon and just sit me up in front of it. And I could eat the whole thing. All of them canned up. I have 7 jars here, and I'm pretty sure my pressure canner, my stovetop pressure canner, I think only holds 7 jars. So, or 7 quarts, I guess I should say. So I have a little bit left, and I'm making my Reuben for dinner tonight. So I think I'll just have that alongside my Reuben. I think that'll be a great combination. And it's the day before St. Patty's Day, so I'm celebrating St. Patty's Day today. So I feel like French onion soup and a Reuben doesn't sound too bad. So this soup is a greasy soup. I did my own bone broth, and there's just grease. It's just greasy. So you want to make sure that you're very careful to wipe your lids, or your rims, I guess it is. Wipe your rims so there's no grease on the rims. If there's grease or debris on your rims, your quart or your jar won't seal. So make sure you wipe them really, really good. And then go ahead and put lids. Quarts or pints, you pressure can for 65 minutes. Quarts you do for, or pints are 60 minutes. Quarts are 75 minutes. So I'm going to get these on the pressure or on the stove in the pressure canner for 75 minutes. And then these are 7 more jars to add to my shelf. I have 3 currently. So I'll probably keep 3 and I'll give my mom 3. Open up, please. And be creative with these too. You don't have to use these just as an onion soup. You can, like I said, turn these into a gravy, turn these into a sauce. Put this into a pot roast. So you want to make a pot roast, add this to your pot roast, and add your carrots and potatoes. This can be used a whole bunch of different ways, and it is just fantastic. So again, just make it to your own taste and your own flavorings, and you will not regret it. I want to thank you guys for coming along with me. My girlfriend and her family stopped over today, so I didn't get as much done as I wanted to get done, but I love stop-in visits. I remember when I was growing up, my mom's friends always like just randomly stopped in. Hey, we were in the neighborhood, we stopped in. And that was so fun, and I feel like my generation doesn't do that anymore. So to have like an unexpected like play date with your friends, I just thought was really fun. So even though I didn't get everything done on my list I wanted to get done, we still got all of our food made, which is a great success. And we had fun with friends. Sawyer is still hurting. I thought I'd give you an update on her. She's still hurting, but she is acting more like herself. So my mama heart is feeling a little bit better. I was so like sick with worry yesterday, thinking that something bad was happening to my baby. So send some prayers her way. She's still definitely hurting, but her personality is coming back, and so I'll take that. Thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.